All right, the day is here. I've been looking forward to this one. Today we are going to be swatching my entire Sydney Grace collection. Hey lovelies, welcome to my channel. If we haven't met before, my name is Kelly and I am a professional hair and makeup artist, and here on YouTube, I strive to keep beauty real. Real honest, real relatable, and real fun. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell. But today, like I said, it's all about Sydney Grace. Now, I think my first Sydney Grace purchase was in July. Has it only been since July? No, that can't be right, can it? Yeah, I think it is. I bought my first Sydney Grace items in July when they were doing the Christmas in July sale. And honestly, I think I did like 4 or 5 days of the sale that I made purchases. Totally fell in love right off the bat. Of course, I got the Tiny Marvels palette, which is the collab with Mel Thompson. I did a review and a couple videos on that. I'll go ahead and link that review up here if you guys would like to see that. And it's just become a love really quickly. Now, first of all, I love supporting indie brands. I really think you can find some amazing formulas, some beautiful, inspiring products out there. And Sydney Grace is one of those companies that is just knocking it out of the park. Hands down, I think I'm gonna say it, hands down my favorite eyeshadow formula to date. Like, can't be beat, totally awesome, and you totally get your bang for your buck with these items. Now, I planned on doing this video a little while ago when my collection was a little bit smaller, but they actually had a shadow single sale. The company was nice enough to donate their profits from this to a family who was a victim of the recent fires out in California. At least I'm pretty sure the family was from California. I know Sydney Grace is based in California, so I'm just assuming there. So I thought this would be a good way to give back to a family with such a tragic loss. And I love that this brand has done something like this. You know, to be able to give back to your community is wonderful. So I think that that's another thing that really tells you a lot about a brand when they are willing to give proceeds. And it's not like it was like 5% of profits. It was like all the profits from the single sale was going to go to this family. So I did pick up a few more for my collection, and that day they were restocking the Multichrome. So I did get 3 of the 4 Multichrome cream shades. But just to give you guys a little peek here, this is what we have to swatch through. These are all of my Sydney Grace shades. In all honesty, I was trying to keep myself to like one magnetic palette. I could totally see myself like buying more over time, especially since I already have the Tiny Marvels palette. I'm not going to swatch Tiny Marvels for you guys today just because that is in my video and I know that there's a lot of content about that. So I am going to be swatching every single one of these shades for you guys. I will also do the cream shadows. I have a few highlighters. I am also going to be using these products on my face today. Well, not all of them, obviously, but what I thought I would do is do one side with an eye look using the Multichrome creams and then another side using these shadow pans. So I thought that that would be a lot of fun just to be able to show you guys if you were looking to buy some things from this company, but we have a lot to get through, so why don't we get going?
There comes a time when I won't belong on these streets, in these crowds, in this room, in your eyes, and you no longer know whether to stay or to go. If you should take me or leave me, rusty and bleeding, a robot on the floor. Well, hours will be hours. I'll slip right through your hand. Doesn't matter what you wish for, doesn't matter how intense. And all those shiny people you wanted to impress, well, they're all watching now, so walk out the door. I'm not gonna last, I'll tell you now. Whatever I am, just leave it now. I'm not gonna try to lie, 'cause here I am now. You said be careful what you say. Well, you're the one to talk. You never should have gone this far. I should have told you from the start. No point in playing along or reach for their respect. Can't you see there's nothing left to protect? I'm not gonna last, I'll tell you now. Whatever I am, just leave it now.
All right, I just wanted to pop in for a minute to talk a bit about these shades after I swatched them. So obviously I showed you guys all of the more like metallic ones and then the matte ones. So I'm sure that you noticed that one of the shades in that first set of swatches doesn't have quite as much like to it. And that's because all of these shades other than that one are the pressed pigments. The one that is slightly more mellow is Pumpkin Spice Latte. And so that's this one right here. It's still very pretty. Let me get a better swatch here, Kelly. It is still very pretty, but it's more of your like traditional shimmer shade and not quite that like enhanced metallic feel. And then you also got to see the two multichromes that I have. I have talked about these. I actually talked about them when I did that Natasha Denona like multichrome video. But so I have two of those. I believe that there are 3 shades. The third shade was out of stock when I purchased. So one day, hopefully I'll have that in my collection, but I'm sure you guys could see now mattes obviously aren't as like ooh on the arm, but you could see that these are very pigmented, very creamy. Obviously the light ones probably didn't show up as good on my skin tone, but hopefully it gave you an idea of the lovely quality of these. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit of info on that. Now to talk a little bit about the cream shadows. So this is really what drew me to this brand first, because I think I had heard Jen Loves Reviews talk about this brand a lot. She loves their cream shadows and I wanted to check them out, but it was the Christmas and July sale that sort of like got me on the train, so to speak. So this is the traditional cream shadow size. I did see in the recent post where they talked about restocking the Multichromes that they're now doing this like smaller 5 milliliter size. Now they did also say, I'm not quite sure if it was a reformulation. Yes, they've adjusted the formula to extend the life of them from 6 months to 12 months. I don't know for sure if that's all of the cream shadows or if it's just the multichrome, but I did want to let you know the difference on those in case you were curious. From what I've experienced with the regular cream shadows, they are very, very pigmented. A little goes a long way. They last an incredibly long time, but I haven't even tried these multichromes yet. I literally just got the box in the mail today, so we're going to be trying these out together. So let's go ahead and get into those swatches. Okay, now that I am completely covered in swatches, I've got all sorts of cream shadow underneath my nails. I wanted to chat with you guys a little bit about these shades. So I'm not sure if you'll be able to see. And obviously when I was swatching, like as much as it would be nice to just do like one like, because of the nature of cream shadows, I did sort of like blend them out a little bit, but as we go through and I use it on the eye, I'll show you just how little you need. So these top 3 are the regular cream shades. I don't know if you can tell, this shade, My Bond, has like little micro flecks, like beautiful, like luminescent, like opalescent, purpley, pink blue shift. And then we have these lovely duochromes, or multichromes rather. I have to say though, so I got 3 out of the 4. I did not get the like really purple one just because I know myself, I don't really wear a lot of purple eye looks. But I have to say, like, honestly, off camera, I was like, I swatched these twice, like thinking like, oh my God, did I just do the same one twice? Because they look very, very similar. Maybe not as much like on the camera right now, but when I turn my arm to myself, they look really close. I feel like this top one just looks a little bit more purpley. So this is the Flamethrower shade and this is the Phoenix shade. So I don't think that you necessarily need both of these. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys see a much more significant difference. I mean, obviously Phoenix, I think, has a little bit more of like a greeny shift to it. I don't know. I mean, obviously they're very beautiful, but I think for most people in their collection, you probably wouldn't need both, if that makes sense. So now that I'm completely covered, I'm gonna go ahead and wipe my arm off and then we'll get into doing our eye looks. All right, so you all probably have your panties in a bunch over those multichromes, so that's what I'm gonna do first. And of course, if you know me, you know I'm probably gonna go for the green, just because I love a good green look in the fall. So I am gonna use that Dragonfly shade. So normally I would put my lid like pop shade on last, just so it doesn't get like buffed out too much, but I wanna show you guys how well these buff out. Well, I know that the regular cream ones buff out really beautifully, so I wanna see if the Multichromes do just as beautiful of a job. If I need to, I can always pack a little more on. So that's what we're gonna start with. Let's grab that Dragonfly shade. Now, if you know me, you know I am team no fingers. You can certainly use this with fingers. It would probably work out really beautifully. I just can't. And you know, with having like decently lengthed nails, oh my God, this situation on my hands, it looks like I've been like digging graves or something. We're just gonna ignore that. Oh, where's my makeup wipe? This is the aftermath of doing all these swatches. Everything is like filthy, filthy, filthy. All right, back to business. Now, if I were to try to use this shade as a one and done, I would just go through with like a flat concealer brush to pop it on the lid and then use a blender through the crease. For cream shadows, I do prefer a synthetic material, so that is what I will be using. This is the Sigma concealer brush, the F75. We'll go ahead and pop a little of this on. So again, I'm just gonna start by building this color, and you really don't need a lot. So this is all I have on my brush for now. If I need to, I can always add more, but you know, once it's down, it's really hard to take away. Oh, got a little creasing, okay. All right, so that's all I'm having on my brush, just because you could always add more, but once it's there, it's hard to like take away a cream. Now, I'm gonna work pretty quickly to blend this out just because I have a feeling it's going to set pretty fast. And this is a Real Techniques base shadow brush. And the nice thing is because, you know, some of that reflective quality kind of buffs away as you go through with the brush, you could almost do this as like a one and done if you really just wanted to, but actually, let me turn on my light here so you guys can see a little bit better. All right, so now I'm gonna take the shade Relax, just kind of popping this out of the pan so I can show you guys more easily, and blur this into the crease. So just to intensify. And this is the Blender Pro brush from Sonia G. You know what, for the heck of it, I'm gonna go ahead and take Phoenix on that same flat brush just on the other side. I think I'm gonna try putting this on like the inner part of my lid just to see how that goes. Well, because of the depth of the shade, I think I need to like do both corners just to kind of make it more of a halo eye situation. So we'll just pop some on the outer part as well. Again, we're just playing with makeup. We're just having a good time. So I think what I'll do is pop this on the inner and outer corners and then maybe end up just placing a little bit more with my finger of that Dragonfly in the center just to blend everything out. This is fun. This is kind of giving me like goth Mardi Gras vibes. Yeah, okay, I'm picking Peaches, which is this nice like peachy light shade, and I just want to add a bit of contrast, like a bit warmer shade up here. What do you guys think? As always, I'll probably end up like cleaning up that outer part just to keep it a little sharper. All right, now we're gonna take Bravo, which is this like kind of army green, like that sort of like khaki green color, and I'm just gonna run that under the lash line. And then just wiping off that brush, I'm gonna do the same Picking Peaches color that we did on the top to soften this edge a little bit. All right, well, it's not a look that's for the faint of heart, but I think once we get some liner and some mascara on, we will be good to go. I think this is like really fun. And you guys can see like just how reflective those multi-chrome shades are. It's so pretty. All right, so here is the final look. I went through just with mascara. I didn't put any false lashes on. I think this is really pretty. I mean, obviously I went kind of like dark and smoky with it, but it really has a lot of color interest and I think it's a lot of fun. Okay, let's go for something sort of like fall harvest inspired on this side. So I'm gonna start with Geese Laying. This is a really nice, like, I would say lemon custard shade. I know that some of these I got in my mystery bags, so I think that some of these might not be available, but maybe you can find something very similar on the site. I mean, really, I'm mostly just going to be using this as like a transition shade. I also have Mango Tea, which isn't quite as like, but it would still do the job if you're looking for something similar. This one is just a little bit more, I mean, I almost feel like it has a little bit more of like a white base to it, so you're going to get that more like poppy effect. Okay, with the same brush, I'm gonna take that Mango Tea shade and build it into the crease. So this is definitely, it's funny, I mean, they don't look super similar in the pan, but you know, on the eye, you can really start to see the difference. This definitely has more of that orangey mango color, which obviously makes sense, given the name. Okay, going in with blushed. This shade is really, really pretty. It kind of reminds me of, is it Grandstand from Makeup Geek? And I'm sure that they just cringe when they get like compared to Makeup Geek, but obviously with the single pans, I really get that vibe. I have to say, I think I prefer this formula. I love Makeup Geek shadows. I don't know, it's been a while since I pulled those ones out just because I know that there was a reformulation, which really bums me out. Like, I know I totally get and respect the whole, I can't remember what she's calling it, where you like have the matrix, is it the matrix system? Whatever it is where, you know, you have like a shade you can pick from each category or whatever to make a cohesive look. I get where Marlene is going with that, but I did ask on Instagram if they were reformulating or if it was just new like square pan packaging, and they were doing a reformulation, which I'm not quite sure why, and as far as I know that it was never addressed as to why, because I love the original one, so I'm not sure. I'm a little salty about that. Plus now I have, I mean, honestly, probably 50 shades from Makeup Geek that as a creator I feel like are, you know, they're not worth pulling out anymore because you guys can't get that formula. I can't really, you know, talk about it and know that it's the same quality. I thought about buying the full Makeup Geek set, but the price is pretty up there, so I haven't done that. But anyway, you know, I do like the single shadow, build your own palette kind of idea with great quality, and you're helping a beautiful small brand. So I really definitely do feel like I've turned to Sydney Grace for some of those great things, and I am really feeling like I may like their formula better. But I kind of just went down like a whole rabbit hole just to tell you that this sort of reminds me of Grandstand, which was one of my favorite shades for Makeup Geek. Okay, now we're trying to use up quite a few of these shades just so you guys can see them all. See them all in my shirt, evidently. This is the shade Blaze. This one has, this one has little micro flecks of gold in it, but it's that kind of like coppery shade. Super pretty. Yeah, you guys can see on here. I'm using the Worker Pro. I think I was just using, let's see. What was I using before? Sorry. I was using the Builder Pro. Now I'm using the Worker Pro. I'm trying to get better about telling you guys what brushes I'm using in case that's something that you find really helpful. Really pretty. And then I am going to dig my nail. And then we're going to take Lost Princess, which I just dug my nail into, trying to get it out of the palette. This one looks really, really pretty. It's that like intense coppery red. And I'm just gonna use the other side of the same brush and blend that in. Yep, very pretty. So now I'm just gonna flip that over to that previous shade and just blend that edge a little bit. I feel like I need a little bit more intensity of that middle shade. Okay, that's really pretty. Talk about fiery. So now we're gonna go ahead, I think this shade is Harvest. I'm gonna pull it out just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure it's Harvest. Yep, we're gonna take Harvest, which is this beautiful kind of like red orange with a bit of brown to it, and put that in our crease just to really define it. So I'm gonna take the Rephr 14 and pop that in. Just taking it on the very, very outside and then pulling it up through the crease. And this is actually my first time using this brush, but I can tell it's going to be great for precise placement. Taking that same brush and just buffing a little bit of Mango Tea. I'm realizing as I'm doing this look, I didn't get anything light enough to really be a inner corner shade, which to me isn't a big deal. I honestly, most days, use my face highlight, if I do one, as my inner corner highlight. And I do have, again, those few face highlights that I'll swatch for you guys after this. I don't think that any of those are gonna be what I'm gonna wanna use with this look, but we'll see. Okay, gonna take a different number 14. I did get 2 of these. I think I'm gonna take that original Geese Laying color, at least at first, and just put this right under the lash line. The tip of this Rephr brush is so precise because it tapers a bit that you could use this as like almost a blurring pencil brush, as long as you like hold it out a little further so you don't get like too much pressure. I'm sure this video is like a million minutes long. Sorry guys. Hopefully you're finding it valuable. I love it. I freaking love it. Like this is sort of like a little bit of like Hunger Games, you know, like Girl on Fire vibes. Yeah, I like it. All right, again, gonna finish up the eyes, probably pop on a little liner, definitely a lot of mascara. I'll be right back. Okay, we're gonna listen to Aileen in the background because I'm watching her as I film, but check this situation. Just dropped my mascara wand, but not only dropped it, evidently did some Kung Fu Ninja stuff and like flipped it into my face. And this is what I'm left with. So it's gonna take me a minute to clean this up. Hopefully I can rectify the situation. Be right back. All right, lovelies, here is the final look on both sides. I really love both of these. I just wanna give you a quick look. Now let's jump into the swatches of the face highlighters really quick. My battery's about to die, so I'm gonna like keep going with this one. Now I'm just gonna talk through these for you guys because there's only 3 of them. I do have 1 pressed highlighter and 2 loose highlighters. So I have the pressed highlighter in Pumpkin Spice Latte Extra Whip. This one I've used before, I think in my last Sydney Grace video, because I did do a video using what I got in my mystery bag, I think. So this is really pretty. They have Pumpkin Spice Latte, and then they have the one that's Extra Whip. I feel like this one is a little bit lighter. So if you have a light to medium skin tone, you would enjoy this one. And I think that the regular one is a bit deeper. If I'm not mistaken, obviously check the website for comparisons, but I do really love this one. So this is definitely one that I have used on my inner corner before, so I could certainly do that, but I definitely want to use it on this side as our highlighter. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of this so you guys can see. So pretty. Yeah, super yummy. Just like a pumpkin spice latte. Although I'm more of a peppermint mocha kind of girl. Yeah, super pretty. So let's move on to the 2 of the loose highlighters that I have. Now, I did get both of these in those mystery bags from the Christmas in July sale. I have Sweet Peach, I think that's what it's called. Yep, Sweet Peach. And Sweet Peach is all over my pants currently, so that's super fun. Now, I don't tend to go towards loose highlighters as much, in all honesty, just because they are kind of a mess. So this is that Sweet Peach shade. So you can see it's quite a bit darker, but you could really build this up to be very reflective. It's almost like my skin tone. So I think that on medium, even deep skin, this would be very, very pretty. And then we have the shade Whipped Berry. So this is a bit more golden, whereas Sweet Peach is more of that peachy shade. I don't know where they get the like whipped berry, but you guys can see, because to me that's not berry at all. I mean, I guess it kind of has like a pinky shift, but this one I really think would be better on darker skin tone. I will probably end up passing this on to a friend with a darker skin tone than mine, just because I don't think I'll ever wear this one, but it is very beautiful. So why don't we go ahead and we'll put Sweet Peach on this side so that you guys can see that as well. So we'll just take a little bit so you guys can see it. It has definitely like a darker shift to it than the pumpkin spice does. I feel like going into fall and winter, I'm gonna be too pale for this one, but I did wear it a couple times this summer and it was really pretty. All right, guys, that's it. You stuck through all of this with me. I have 2 full memory cards. I have swatch remnants all over my arms, and I've got glitter fallout all over my pants. So this must have been a good filming day. By the way, I will say I did get a bit of glitter fallout from that center shade that I used on my lid. Not a big deal to me, but I did want to mention that so you guys can see the final results. Obviously on this side, we used all of the pressed pigments and matte shadows. And then we've got the Pumpkin Spice Latte Extra Whip highlight on, and I didn't set my face. I don't really feel like I need to, in all honesty. It's gonna be time to wash this off in a couple hours. So on this side, we have 2 of those Multichrome cream shadows. Love these. We of course did use a few of the pressed pan shadows as well to blend that out. And then we have that Sweet Peach shade of the loose highlight. So I hope you guys found this helpful. Let me know if there are any of the shades that I swatched for you that you're gonna wanna pick up. I really highly suggest, if you haven't tried Sydney Grace, you really should. It is still my top find of the year. It's definitely going to be in my favorites of 2020, and that's something to be thankful for. So I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. If you did find this video helpful, please give it a like, share it with some friends. It really does help me out. Thanks again. I really appreciate you taking the time to sit and play with makeup with me. So have a great one, you guys. I'll see you really soon.